Bold claim. Macron and other European leaders warn that Washington's approach to Ukraine talks could imperil Kyiv's hold on territory and security guarantees.
That's the through line of a piece reported by Der Spiegel, which cites a leaked English summary of a recent call among European heads of government. The gist: high-level doubts exist about how the United States is handling negotiations with Ukraine, with fears that the current path might not deliver lasting security or territorial clarity for Kyiv. According to Der Spiegel, the summary portrays Macron describing the negotiations' tense phase as carrying a big danger for President Zelensky. Germany's Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, is said to have urged Zelensky to proceed with extreme caution. A pointed remark attributed to Merz claimed that they are playing games with both you and us, apparently referring to a diplomatic mission to Moscow this week led by Steve Witkoff, a Trump advisor, and Jared Kushner. Other leaders reportedly voiced concerns.
Finland's Alexander Stubb warned that Ukraine must not be left alone with its adversaries.
Even NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who publicly often compliments Trump, is said to have agreed with Stubb about protecting Zelensky. Der Spiegel also notes that several participants confirmed the call took place and that 2 of them said the quotes were accurately reproduced. Responses from Zelensky's office and Merz's office declined to comment, while the Élysée Palace challenged the attribution of some Macron quotes. Rutte's office did not respond to a request for comment. The publication released both a German and an English version of its report, presenting what it describes as original quotes from the call's summary. This follows a flurry of diplomacy. Washington put forward a 28-point plan to halt the war in Ukraine, a plan critics say reflects Moscow's maximalist aims and lacks Ukrainian-European consultation.
Subsequent talks occurred in Geneva and Florida, with Witkoff and Kushner proceeding to Moscow for discussions with Vladimir Putin. Witkoff is also slated to meet Ukraine's Security Council chief Rustem Umerov in Miami.
German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius framed any imposed peace as disastrous for both Kyiv and Europe's security, urging continued European support for Ukraine. In an opinion piece for Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung, Merz advocated using frozen Russian assets to aid Ukraine, arguing that Europe must act independently to defend its interests. He stressed that Europe's future security hinges on whether it rises to this challenge and asserts that Europeans must decide the fate of resources frozen within their own jurisdictions. Key themes to watch include whether external guarantees will be enforceable, how much influence European powers have over negotiations with Moscow, and whether a dictated peace could destabilize Europe long-term.
As discussions continue, the question remains, should Europe pursue greater autonomy in shaping its security not through outside mediation alone, but by galvanizing its own resources and policy levers? Would stronger European-led initiatives alter the balance of power in Ukraine's favor or simply shift the terms of surrender? Would you side with those urging firmer European independence and resilience, or with critics who worry about diminishing American involvement in a crisis that directly impacts European security? Share your perspective in the comments.